Carol Carman here, welcoming you to number 9 in an occasional series of podcasts from Grunty Fennery. Happy Easter! Yes, it's that time of year again when Dennis takes his annual bath and Gran gets ready for her regular surprise Easter visitor. You can hear more about those Easters on other recordings, which are available from dennisofgruntyfen.co.uk, where you can also learn more about the world of Grunty Fen and snaffle yourself some books, maps and greetings cards. This Easter, our free episode comes from 1994, and Dennis has a present for Mr. South. But not for him the delights of a chocolate egg. Oh, no. This is altogether something more Dennis. I feel it's only fair to warn you that you may be better off sitting down when you listen to this and not operating any heavy machinery. Because in this episode, Dennis is relentless. That's the only way to describe it. Relentless. Poor Mr. South tries desperately to get a word in, but Dennis doesn't seem to notice, and all the time he's talking, the clock is ticking. I felt quite worn out when I'd listened to this episode and came away convinced that Dennis breathes through his ears. Anyway, it's over to the Hencoop car so you can listen for yourselves. Enjoy, if that's the right word.
There you are, then.
What's this, Dennis? We're about to go live.
Happy Easter.
Dennis, we're on air.
I think the cat brushed past it while I were gluing it,
Dennis,
you know.
there's no time now.
I should keep that somewhere cool till last set if
Dennis,
I were
please,
you.
we
I
must
tried to
get
keep her arm out stiff, but see that sag
Dennis,
a bit and that, doesn't it?
Sing your song.
Don't you like it then?
Well, yes, thank you very much. Now, Dennis,
That's a shepherdess, you know.
Really, it's a shepherdess. Very nice. Thank you very much,
All
Dennis.
made out of china, only that got broke. See, when my gran were pressing the tongue
You were
and she
pressing the
used
tongue.
it as a weight, you see, and that got stuck in the jelly.
Really, stuck in
and
the
when
jelly,
she
yeah.
come to wrench that free, see, that shot out of her hand,
Dennis,
you know.
Dennis, your song.
Mind
please.
you, that don't account for all the damage.
Grieve, I particularly wanted this week's interview to be really businesslike and professional.
You know how in India they maybe have what they call a rogue
I
elephant?
wanted to impress the editor-in-chief
well,
of
we
Carol
had a
Carman.
rogue fly, you
He's
see.
probably listening to this
Ferocious, that worm, you see.
Well, what's he going to think?
Every time we opened the window, the other flies, they all go out, you see. But not this one,
Dennis.
contrarious, daftest rogue fly
Dennis,
I've ever known. That
career is-
never known a
my
fly.
career's
quite
gonna be
like-
in
Me
ruins,
gran
sir.
blamed it for blowing a bit of pork what she'd had,
I've got a
you
whole
see.
backlog of important questions on topics of the day that I want
Yeah,
to
she
put
had
to
that
you.
flit gun loaded and waited for 3 or 4 days, that must have been, you
The
know.
questions ranging over the whole
See,
gamut
she
of
had
news
it
and
on the
current
arm of
affairs.
her chair in a state of sort of instant readiness.
Dennis.
Only when she dozed off, see, that leaked out the flit gun a bit, and that made the sleeve of her blouse all damp, you know. There's a stain on the moquette arm of her chair even now, you
Dennis,
know,
I
even
wonder if-
after all them years. See,
Dennis, I
where the
wonder if
flit
I'm-
gun leaked while she were waiting for the rogue fly, you know.
May I just...
She nearly got him any number of times. Mind you, I had its compensations, didn't it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish
missing
to
so often. I
apologise.
mean, there's nothing worse than eating a bit of pork what's been flooded in flit from a flit gun. You know, that take half a bottle of mark ketchup to bury the taste of that flit, you know.
Ladies
that
and
strong
gentlemen,
old stuff, you know.
I'd rather
rather
hope
have a bit of pork what had a blowfly settle on it for a while. I'd rather have that any day than a bit of pork what's been doused in flit, you
Ladies
know.
and gentlemen, we apologise
whatever you
for
do,
the
you can still
delayed
taste
start
that
to
flit all the
today's
way through it,
broadcast,
you know.
but we are hoping
Anyhow,
that
that were a Wednesday, see.
may be able to-
No, tell a lie. That were a Tuesday.
we do hope to make a
That
proper
was a
start
Tuesday.
very shortly.
Anyway, she got it cornered up against the chiffonier, like a cat stalking a mouse she were, you know. And you call her stealthy. Oh, she was
Stealthy,
stealthy,
yes.
inch by inch.
Quite
She
true.
crossed the parlour, getting closer and closer to that rogue
Meanwhile,
fly,
ladies and
which-
gentlemen, I will ask you to be patient.
And she crept across the parlour. She pulled out that flit gun plunger to its full extent, Miss South, and she got that blowfly in her sights.
In her
Miss
sights.
South, that were a very tense situation. That
Very tense,
blowfly
yes.
hadn't settled for more than 2 solid hours.
Really,
That were in
2 hours.
constant flight, Miss South. Oh, that been up there in
do
the air
assure
2
you,
hours.
ladies
That
and
must have been,
gentlemen,
Miss
that this
South.
will all
Just
be
like
over
a sort
in
of
a moment, and
helicopter
then
that
we'll
were. Trembling she were, with the flit running down her fingers and that. Miss South, Did you ever see 0 to the Depths?
Any minute now, that this is all going to seem
That
just
had
like a bad
Ronald
dream.
Shiner in it
Never
as the
really-
Cockney gunner what
Really,
aimed
Ronald
the torpedoes.
Shiner. Really?
They see, they never let
Dennis.
Ronald Shiner be the captain and nothing like that. See, he was too common, weren't he, Ronald
Dennis?
Shiner? He was usually down in the bilges, giving a bit of sort of light relief, you know, making
Quite so.
other sailors laugh and
Yeah,
that.
oh,
But see,
absolutely.
in 0 to the Depths, it was him what fired the torpedoes.
And I can
you
only
know.
hope, ladies and gentlemen, that in the time remaining, I will be
Yeah,
able to
he
squeeze
was
in
good
all the
at
great
that. I quite
international
enjoyed
issues
him
on my
doing
list.
that, you
Meanwhile,
know.
do please bear
And
with me.
everybody was surprised he was so good at aiming a deadly weapon, you know.
deadly weapon,
Same with me
yes,
gran,
yes.
see, aiming that flit gun.
Yep, yes.
Only just as she drew that plunger back to its fullest extent,
Fullest extent.
see her right elbow that caught it, and crash.
Really crashed,
That
yes.
China Shepherdess that always stood on the chiffonier, you
Dennis.
see, and her elbow caught it and that fell off. Now, see, as luck would have it, she only lost her bucket and part of her frock on account of that landed on the coconut mountain, and that acted like a sort of shock absorber, you
Really, a
see.
shock
So
absorber.
the damage was confined to her bucket and her frock and
Among
that,
the
you
key
see,
topics
Missy.
we intend to tackle in a moment are the current scrutiny of our education
The
system. when we-
shepherdess, she only lost her head years later when she got stuck on the tongue jelly, you see.
Yes, indeed. The role of
Because that's
Russia
nice
in the
weight for
alliance
tongue
with the
jelly,
West.
you see, and that flew right out my grand's hand, she did. That hit her head and landed in the cruet, you see. And the cruet knocked the knife box on the floor. And see,
Knife
that
box.
frightened old SAS cat what happened to be
Frightened the cat,
dozing on
yes.
the table, and that leapt up, and that ran straight into me mechano crane what I were building,
your
you
mechano
know.
crane.
Missy, you never
Dennis.
heard such a racket in all your life. I never heard such a clatter for or since, except when me Grandad got his truss caught in the companion set. Oh, that weren't half a clatter. Do you know, this day we can't work out how he done it.
Dennis.
Sometimes around Christmas, you know, me old Gran talked about old times and that, and she get all neuralgic, and she used to
Neuralgic,
wonder how
nostalgic.
he got his truss caught in the companion set,
I
you
also
know,
hope
Miss
to consider
Susan.
the whole question of the
I reckon
end
he
of
must have
British
been
rule in
airing
Hong
himself
Kong
or something,
and
you know.
the related topic of the awakening of the Chinese industrial
'Cause I
giant. And there
expect
may
you got
still
them
be
red
time
marks
to
like you do when
consider,
you wear
albeit
glasses, you
briefly,
know.
President Clinton and the Whitewater
And the
affair.
side of your
But it all
nose.
rather depends on whether we can
Anyhow,
make a start.
I glued her all together for you. At least that's what's left of her. See, her
Dennis.
bucket's still missing.
Dennis.
See, after that broke off through when the shepherdess got stuck in the pressed tongue jelly, I used it on me mechano crane.
On the crane,
See,
yes.
I could scoop mustard out the cruet and
Really?
plop it in the salt, you know. and
Although,
say,
we may,
you sort of
ladies
get
and
two in
gentlemen,
one, really. I'm
have
surprised
to-
they hadn't
we may
invented
have
that
to confine
already,
ourselves
really.
to the single
Of course,
topic
generally,
of
we've never
education.
been plagued with flies,
Education.
except after me Gran's had one of her spasms of spring cleaning, you know. She's got this bit of stick, you see, with a few chicken feathers
a
lashed
bit
to
of
the
stick,
top
yes,
with a
yes,
bit
yes.
of binder twine, and she used to sort of flick the cobwebs out from around the windows, but that's the worst thing you can
Dennis.
do, you see. Them webs, they're the first line of defence against the flies.
First line of defence,
See,
yes.
that's like in 0 to the Depths.
Not again.
That film with Ronald
Yes,
Shiner,
yes,
you know,
yes, with Ronald
those
Shiner, yes.
submarines trying to get under the nets into the Jerry Harbour, you see. And you can hear the scraping along the top of the submarine. It's the same with cobwebs, you know.
Really, it's the same with
Now,
cobwebs.
if you're a blue bottle,
Yes.
you got to be a pretty good navigator to get through our cobwebs. But see, when me Gran take it into her head to have a spring clean, well, they all come in, don't they? Swarms of them.
Dennis,
Now, Miss
I
Sif,
wonder if...
do be careful how you hold that shepherdess till that's set. I think maybe I used a bit too much Seccotine, and then,
Dennis.
like I say the old SAS cat, he brushed past
Dennis.
it while I were working on the arm. But don't go trying to get all that fur out of the Seccotine till that's set,
Dennis,
see.
please.
Best let it set hard fast and snip it off with a pair of scissors. I think you'll find that's the best way.
Right, now,
she
good,
looked
that's
pretty,
settled that.
don't
Now,
she,
I
you
wonder
know?
whether we can now
Standing
begin
there
the
with her
questioning.
bucket handle in one hand and that button hook in the other.
Button
See,
hook,
of course,
yes, a button hook, yes.
she used to have a crook, but see, that broke off, didn't it?
Broke off,
See, me
yes, that
Grandad
broke off.
always used to keep his raffle ticket stuffed behind her
Really?
crook,
His
you
raffle
know.
tickets,
And
Dennis?
half a bottle of lemon heart rum one year,
Really?
you know.
One
Never would have
bottle
been
of
able to
lemon
claim if he hadn't known where his counterfoil were, you know. Now, if I remember rightly, that were 4, 6, 8 yalla, that were,
Remarkable
Miss
memory you have. Dennis, isn't it about time you
Gran
sang
was
your
furious
hello song?
when she found out. See, he never told her. Just kept nipping down the privy every half hour for a nip, you see.
Your hello song,
See, that's where he kept the bottle, see. He weren't really going to privy, you see. I mean, not like you do normally when you say, oh, I'm just going to the privy,
Dennis,
you see. No, he never
how about singing your hello
He was
song
going for a
now?
nip of his lemon heart rum, you see, and every time he come back, he was that bit more more talkative and cheerful.
Talkative, was he really? Talkative?
She smelled it on his breath in then.
Was talkative.
She was furious, missus. She was furious. She's partial to a nip of the lemon heart herself, you see.
Oh, indeed.
Anyhow,
Partial.
see, that was the year he reached behind the shepherdess's crook to get his counterfoil, yellow 468, you see.
Yellow 468,
I can see it now in me mind's eye, you see.
How interesting.
See, in his eagerness to claim his half bottle of lemon heart round, you see, he broke it off, didn't he? Snap it clean off, so that's why she's got a button hook now. Only that look more like a pipe gaff, really, doesn't it?
Yes, right.
Don't
Now,
mind myself, that make a nice Easter present for you, doesn't it?
Oh, yes.
Nice little china shepherdess.
Yes,
I dare say Mrs. South will be grateful for you for that, you know. Women like a few ornaments about the place, you know. Gives them something to dust and that.
Yes, indeed. Dennis, I am indeed truly grateful, and I'm sure my wife will be grateful also. Although
did
actually,
she ever press tongue for you, did she?
Dennis,
look nice on your chef in here, that will,
to be strictly accurate, it's not a china shepherdess, is it, actually? It's a plaster shepherdess, isn't it?
Oh, plaster, that's right. That's what make it so heavy, you see. Give it the weight for pressing a tongue,
Right,
don't
yes,
it?
well, I think we've settled the whole matter of the shepherdess now. I really would be even more grateful if in the next few minutes remaining we turned our attention to
that
some
we're
of
either
the
the
major
shepherdess or something, another Ted, I reckon that will.
There we go again. Dennis, what do you mean another Ted?
Well, we call them Ted, don't we?
What?
Goldfish.
I see. You call goldfish Ted?
Yeah.
Oh, fine, right.
Yeah.
This all sounds very
Well,
sensible
it
and practical. And let's get on with the topic of discussion. Now, come
Well,
on,
that's so hard to tell them apart, doesn't it?
Well, I dare say it is.
Of course,
but
we
I
never
wa-
had more than one.
Really?
That's what made me grand goof for the shepherdess. You see, the woman what were running the hoopla, she said me gran had a choice.
Right.
The china shepherdess
The plaster shepherdess, actually.
or a goldfish. But we never have two. Well, I reckon that's cruel, don't you? You know, even two goldfish in one bowl. I mean, supposing one were left-handed and one were right-handed. Supposing one liked swimming round clockwise, like Ted do, and suddenly in come a strange goldfish. What's in the habit of swimming anti-clockwise? See, that could be very nasty, you know.
I suppose it could.
They could keep colliding and do themselves a nasty injury, you know, couldn't they? You know?
Dennis, I think the
Mind
time
you,
is...
I'll grant you one thing. Generally speaking, golfers gets themselves organised so they go round the same way. We've noticed that. I reckon that's so that they can sort of feel the benefit,
Really
you know.
feel the benefit,
Well, you
yes,
know, like horses in the field,
horses.
fanning each other with their tails,
I
you
see,
see.
yes, right.
That's most
Now-
probably the same with goldfish, I've always reckoned. Of course,
Dennis-
the best thing in a crowded bowl is for the goldfish to swim at different altitudes.
Different
you see.
altitudes.
Well, see, like what they do over Heathrow, so they don't collide, you see.
Yes.
But we only
Dennis,
ever have the one.
Dennis,
you
our
see.
allotted time is very nearly exhausted now.
Blast me, so that is.
Yes, it is.
So sorry, Miss Heath.
Well, I mean,
you think me going on like this here? I only wanted to be sure you really like your Easter present, you
Well,
see.
I do. I thank you very much. I'm perfectly content with my Easter present. Now, Dennis, will you please sing your song? And I'd be awfully grateful, Dennis, if you just get it over and done with quickly, because we're running awfully late. Come on, sing your song. Quickly.
Faint tigers got dewdrops on their nose. Faint tigers got whips in their toes. Faint tigers got Geelan old point. But blast that wind come off the fin. That'll blow you there and back again. Blast that wind come off the fin. That'll blow you off your bar.
Thank you, Dennis.
Was that fast enough
Yes,
for you?
indeed. Thank you very much indeed.
right,
It's at last. Right, now let's get down to it with no further delay. First
I'm ever
question.
so sorry, Miss Heath.
It's all right.
I don't
it's
know
all right.
what got into
It doesn't
me.
matter.
Now, you go right ahead.
You
Go
think
on.
no more of it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Now, the
Off
first
you go.
question of my list concerns the Secretary of State for Education,
That's
Mr.
a funny
Patton.
thing, though, isn't it?
What?
Goldfish food.
Oh, good grief, Dennis, once and for all. Forget about the goldfish, forget about the plaster shepherdess, forget about the press tongue, the raffle prizes, the cobwebs and submarines, Meccano cranes, old films with Ronald Shiner and flit guns. Forget about
I
everything.
mean, there ain't nothing else will touch it, is there? That's why we always have to get another one. See,
goldfish?
one day your goldfish looks perfectly healthy and swimming round same as usual, and all of a sudden that'll keel right over without you even suspecting that's been took queer, you know. So you're left with all that goldfish food with nothing to eat it, you know. Cat won't touch it, you know. So you have to get another one just to save wasting all that food, you see, don't you?
Dennis, education with particular
I
reference...
like to work in the goldfish food factory, Miss.
factory?
I mean, a packet lasts so long, doesn't it?
I don't know.
That can't be the demand, you know.
I can't.
I mean, you'd always be on short time, wouldn't you?
Well, I expect you're right.
Brian usually find it in the end, though, you know.
Brian the guard duck.
See, you can never be 100% sure a goldfish is dead, can you?
Can't you?
I mean, you can't take its pulse. I mean, I've tried, but you can't get a good grip on it, you know.
Can't grip a goldfish.
So that might be alive all the time. You never know. So, see, I generally, when we've got a Ted what look a bit dead, I chuck it in the
Ted,
paddle to give it a sort of second chance and that, you see. But Brian usually find it in the end. See, there's not much he miss in that paddle, Miss
Really?
you see.
No,
So he get the nourishment, doesn't he, you see. You know, after all that food, that'd be a shame to just chuck it out in the compost, you see. I like the duck to get the nourishment from all the food, you see.
Sure, Brian.
Anyhow.
Now we come to the first question.
I'm ready, myself.
Good. Right, now let's get going.
Fire away.
This question...
Now, what is it you want to know?
This question...
I'm ready for anything.
This question concerns the policy of the Secretary of State for Education,
Yeah.
Mr. John
I'm
Patton.
ready for you.
Mr. John Patton. His policy towards sex education in our schools. Now, well, what's wrong now?
We're on the wireless.
I know we're on the wireless. That's why I want to ask you about sex education.
Mr. South, wash your mouth out with soap and water.
I only said sex education.
That's a good thing me gran ain't listening.
What's your granny got to do?
Well, she hates smart. If she knew you were talking filth on the wireless like that.
Smut?
I ain't going to stay here if you're going to talk dirty. I'm going to sing
Sex
my good boy
education.
song now and be off. Talking about things like
I'm
that.
sorry, I didn't mean to upset
And on
you.
a
I've got some
Sunday
other
as well.
questions. I mean, we've been
Good
sitting
heavens,
here for
Mr.
10 or
South.
12 minutes and we've got no...
That's all in your life. That's all in your
Is
life.
this it? You're going to go?
Like that. Don't go scratching
We
up
haven't
your
asked any
poor old-
questions.
Shh. Don't go worrying, just go back to bed. That's all in your life and you're a long time
This is ridiculous.
dead.
not
That's
smart.
all in your life. Happy Easter.
This is absolutely ridiculous. Oh, heavens.
Now you bastard bloomin' shepherdess.
Well, it was already broken. Oh, a happy Easter to you.
See what I mean? Relentless. Thanks for listening to this Grunty Fen podcast. On behalf of everyone at Grunty Fennery and Dennis of gruntyfen.co.uk, we'd like to wish you the very best of the Easter season, whether you've had your annual bath or not. Take care, and that's all in your life.